Hey everyone, and welcome to our explainer from popularaitools.ai. Today, we are diving into something really cool, the brand new scheduling and automation features in Claude Code. Seriously, this is going to change the way you think about AI coding assistants. All right, let's just get right into it. So, be honest. Are you still kicking off your day by typing the exact same prompts every single morning? You know, the check yesterday's PRs or summarize what changed overnight routine? We've all been there, right? It's that repetitive grind. Well, that's exactly what we're here to talk about getting rid of, for good. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures this huge shift in thinking. See, we're not just talking about a tool that you have to poke and prod for every little thing. We're talking about moving to a proactive partner, an agent that actually works for you. And that is the whole idea behind Claude Code's new automation. So here's what we've got on deck. We'll start with what it means to go from an assistant to an agent. Then we'll break down the 3 tiers of automation, get into the details on desktop tasks, and then the big one, cloud routines. After that, we'll cover some key gotchas and limitations you need to know, and wrap up with where this is all headed. Let's go. All right, section 1, from assistant to agent. So what on earth do we mean by agentic? It sounds like just another buzzword, right? But it's not. Think about it. A normal script. What happens when it hits an error it wasn't expecting? It just dies. It stops. An agent, on the other hand, can actually think, it can try to fix itself, and it can adapt when things inevitably go sideways. That's a game changer. And this comparison really lays it all out. A static script, it's like a train on a track. If there's a problem on the track, it just stops dead. It needs you, a human, to fix it. But agentic automation, it understands what you're trying to do. It can figure out detours. It can handle the messiness of real-world coding, and that makes it way, way more powerful. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the 3 tiers of automation. The cool thing here is that Claude Code knows there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. So instead, you get 3 different levels of automation, each one designed for a specific job, from just a quick little check to a full-on, always-on workflow. And this table is a perfect summary. Just look at the progression. You start with a simple loop command, which runs right there in your terminal session. Then you level up to desktop tasks, which live on your local machine. And then, the final tier, cloud routines, which run completely on Anthropic's cloud. Notice how it goes from your machine must be on to a big fat no for cloud routines? That's huge! So let's start with the simplest one, the /loop command. Basically, this is your go-to for quick, temporary things you want to check on while you're actively working. You know, like, hey, keep an eye on this build for me, or ping this service every minute. It's super handy, but here's the key. The moment you close your terminal, poof, it's gone. It's only for that session. All right, next up we have desktop tasks, which is all about local persistence. This is where things get a lot more permanent, because now we're talking about automation that actually survives a restart. And these are awesome for your day-to-day personal workflows. Just imagine this. You open your laptop in the morning, and there's already a briefing waiting for you that summarizes your Slack DMs, your key emails, and the status of your PRs. It's like having a personal assistant. And because it's persistent, it survives a reboot. Even better, it has a catch-up feature. So if your computer was off, it'll run the tasks it missed when you turn it back on. Super smart. And that brings us to the main event, cloud routines. This is the new fully autonomous agent. This just launched in research preview back on April 14th, 2026. And believe me, it represents a massive leap forward. So what is a cloud routine? Well, you package up a prompt, point it at a repository, and that's it. It runs automatically on Anthropic's own infrastructure. Let that sink in. This is the real game changer. Your automation is now running 24/7, even if your laptop is shut and tucked away in your backpack. You don't have to manage a server, you don't have to deal with containers. It is pure set it and forget it automation. And check out how flexible these are. You can trigger them in 3 really powerful ways. First, the obvious one, on a schedule, like hourly, daily, or weekly. Second, you can trigger it with an API call, so any external service can kick off your routine with a secure webhook. And third, you can have it react to GitHub webhooks. Think about that. It can respond to things like a new PR being opened, or a new issue, or a push to a branch. This is way beyond just scheduling. It's truly event-driven. Now, just a quick heads up on scheduled routines. The minimum interval you can set is 1 hour. That's a bit different from the local desktop tasks, which you can run every single minute. And that makes sense, right? These cloud routines are really designed for those bigger, more substantial jobs, not for constant polling. So, how many of these can you run? Well, it depends on your plan. The Pro plan gets you 5 runs every day, which is actually a pretty good starting point for your most important automations. The Max plan bumps that up to 15, and the Teen plan gives you 25. And yeah, there are options for overages if you really need to go big. Okay, let's talk about the important stuff, the key gotchas and limitations. Look, with any new powerful tool, there are always a few little traps to watch out for. We talked to some power users, and these are the things you absolutely need to know to save yourself a headache. And here it is, the number one thing that trips people up. That local.nv file on your machine, the one with all your precious API keys that you correctly keep out of Git, well, guess what? It's not in the cloud. So your routine goes to run, it looks for those secrets, and it finds nothing. And then your routine fails. So what's the solution? It's actually really elegant. Cloud environments. Inside each routine settings, there's a special, dedicated place for you to securely store all your API keys, your tokens, and any other secrets. This is the right way to do it. It keeps everything secure, it keeps it out of your repo, and it makes sure your routine has exactly what it needs when it runs. Okay, a few more quick-fire gotchas. First, when you make an API trigger, it's going to give you a token. Copy it and save it somewhere safe immediately. You only get to see it once. Second, the network access defaults to trusted, which might block some things. If your API calls are failing, try switching it to full access. Third, and this is a big one, no browser automation. The cloud environment is stateless, so tools like Playwright just aren't going to work. And finally, remember that by default, a routine can only push code to branches that start with Claude/. Just something to keep in mind for your Git workflow. All right, let's wrap this all up and talk about the future, because this is about so much more than just scheduling a script. This is about where development is heading. And this quote from Nate Herc really drives it home. This is the most important thing to understand. We are not just running a dumb script in the cloud. We are running an intelligent agent. The same agentic framework is there, which means if it hits an error while it's running, it's going to try to self-correct. It's going to try and figure it out on its own. So what does that mean for you? It means Claude Code goes from being a tool you use to being a teammate that works for you 24/7. Seriously, you can now delegate entire complex workflows, things like doing initial code reviews on pull requests or triaging error logs overnight. You can hand that off to an autonomous agent that never gets tired and never sleeps. And really, that's what this all comes down to. You now have an agent working for you, around the clock, taking care of all that repetitive, heavy lifting. So the only question left is, what are you going to build